Hello, welcome back. Bitwig Studio Beginners Course, djvicvapor with you. So in the previous lesson we were taking a look at some real basic straightforward compression, and in this lesson I just want to do a quick overview of the EQ. Specifically we're going to take a look at the EQ2. So I can drag it from over here in our devices and presets browser, or I can simply click off of our compressor that we currently have and select it there. So EQ2. You know, from the look of this thing, if you're familiar with other DAWs or you've been working with electronic music in a while, at first glance it's kind of basic looking, but it's a very, very powerful EQ2. You have the low and high buttons. You have 1 and 2. Now, each one of these you can actually select, you know, the shelving, the bell, a really good high pass 24 dB there and 12 as well. And you get the same options over here on the high. So you can actually think of this as potentially a really good creative sound effect if you're using it in that sort of way. But let's say we've compressed specifically on our beat loop here. We've put some compression on it without. And you notice we kind of lose a few elements there, maybe a little low end, but what would be a good way to put that back? So one of the ways I think of putting it back was taking a look at the EQ2. So let's say we want to add maybe just under 100. Let's add a couple dB back. Now you can choose using things down here, or you can simply drag and move this guy around up here. I'm just more comfortable personally using the numbers. I'm typing them in, or whatever your choices are. So there we've added a couple dB, almost 3 dB back, just under 100 hertz. Let's listen with and without. With and without. It kind of brings that low end back up for us and balances out, you know, what we've taken away by adding the compression beforehand. So we can also do that on the high end as well. We can add dB and a half maybe, and then we can select exactly where in the frequency spectrum we want to add that. Now if we wanted to, we could also take things away. We can add the bell, and you notice when I added the bell shape to the parameter here, we've got another option in a drop-down box, or not a drop-down, but another option appears in the box below here, and that is our Q. Essentially, how wide of an area do we want to affect? And we can move up and down here on the Q, and you see how it responds at the top there, widening and narrowing the range or the frequency that we're going to work with. So you can get surgical if need be, or you can just kind of have a nice wide area that you want to move down and pull out of your chain there. So that's the EQ2 in Bitwig Studios. Let's move on to the next one and take a look at the EQ5.